If you were to wander the streets of our city, wander the streets of the city of Victoria, just start asking people, hey, what do you think of Jesus? Like, what's your opinion of him? You are going to get a myriad of answers. You're going to hear that, we think Jesus is a great moral teacher or religious philosopher. He's a nice guy. He said some good things. There's all kinds of opinions about Jesus. But what happens when Jesus is self-revelation, like when who he says he is different than who we think he actually is? What happens when those two ideas come in conflict with one another, when they collide? That's not just true of those outside of the church. That's even true for myself. It's true for all of us, even inside of the church. We have these ideas in our mind of who Jesus is, of who we want him to be, of how he's supposed to work in our lives. But then there's who Jesus actually is. There's who Jesus tells us that he is, who he reveals himself to be. And those two things are going to come in conflict with one another. Well, in the text we're going to look at this coming week in Matthew chapter 21, Jesus is going to paint a very clear picture of who he actually is. And it's a very different picture than perhaps the picture you and I have in our minds and in our hearts of who Jesus actually is. In fact, it's probably a very different picture than the Jesus we actually want him to be. And what we're going to do is we're going to work through how those two realities come in conflict with one another and then what we're supposed to do with it. So I encourage you to come out this Sunday, come watch our live stream, invite someone, share it on your social media platforms with your friends, because I think what Jesus has for us this week is really good news that everybody needs to hear.